Hey guys, welcome back to Pokemon Club with Sim. I'm really sorry that I missed last week and I missed you guys too, but I'm here now and let's have some fun. Okay, today we are going to talk about dissecting a Pokemon card. And by dissecting, I don't mean like cutting it open and looking at all its weird parts. I mean that we're going to learn everything on this Pokemon. And it's kind of hard to see, so I actually brought a beautiful picture of it. I tried to draw it, but my Charmander ended up looking like a weird bug-eyed lizard, so we're going with the internets. Alright, so we're gonna start reading from left to right, like we do normally. I do have a fun fact for you. In different cultures, like Japan, they actually read right to left, and those books are called mangas. They're like graphic novels, and they even have Pokemon graphic novels, and they're really cool. Okay. So, today, we're looking at our Charmander. He is a fire type, and if you remember our lessons from the weeks before, fire type is weak to water and strong against steel. Okay, so for Charmander, I chose a basic type Pokemon because everyone has a basic type Pokemon, and almost everyone probably has a Charmander. He's super popular and really adorable, as you can see. Alright, let's get started. Okay, so on the very left of my Charmander, it says the word basic in this little white box. And basic means that it is a basic type Pokemon. It doesn't need another Pokemon to evolve it or to play it in your game. Alright, next we have the name of the Pokemon, which is Charmander. And a lot of Pokemon have genders, so they'll have actually the gender symbol right here, but Charmander is genderless. Only Pokemon that really matter about gender is like Nidoran, Nidorina. They're the only one that are gender specific because they evolved to Nidoqueen and Nidoking. Alright, now we have those little tiny letters right here. It says HP. HP means health points. That means that this Charmander has 50 health points before he gets knocked out of battle. A lot of low basic Pokemon have lower health points, but if you're playing with like a GX card, they have really high, like 250. Because they're special Pokemon, and it takes a lot more to kill them. But you get more rewards when you do. So everyone pretty much knows what this symbol is here because we talked about it in past weeks. This symbol right here means it's a fire type, and it shows all the different types. And if you remember how many types of Pokemon there were? 11. There were 11 types of Pokemon. Alright, next we have the beautiful picture, which doesn't do anything for your game. It's just, it shows your Pokemon and it's awesome. And this Charmander is adorable. It kind of looks like he's tripping and his tail is attacking him a little bit, but that's fine. This little white bar doesn't really have anything to do with the game either. It's more like fun facts. So my bar says that this Pokemon is the number 4. So it's the 4th Pokemon in the Pokédex. And if you don't know what a Pokédex is, I'll explain it to you. A Pokédex is like a Pokemon encyclopedia. It tells you everything to know about a Pokemon, where to find them, what kind of type they are, what they're good against, weak against, and most importantly, in the games and TV shows, it explains to you if you've caught them, because that's like the point of the show in the video games is to catch them all. Alright, so it also tells us that this Charmander is a lizard Pokemon, and if you couldn't tell, he looks a lot like a fire lizard. And he is 2 feet tall. Does anyone know how tall 2 feet is? It's about this tall, so maybe me sitting down. He's not very big at all. Kind of the size of a small, maybe medium-sized dog. And he weighs only 18 pounds, so about as heavy as a really fat cat, I think. Alright, next we have the most important part of our card, actually, is the moves. And our Charmander has 2 moves. Not all Pokemon have 2 moves. Some only have 1, and they're not as strong, but our Charmander is kind of awesome. So, this first one, it shows our symbol again. What does this symbol mean? that it's a fire type. So this is a fire type move, and the move is Scratch. On this side, on the right side, it shows that Scratch does 10 damage to your opponent's Pokemon. So if we were fighting another Charmander with the exact same stats, so he has 50 health points and he's using Scratch, and Scratch does 10 damage to us, we would then have 40 damage, and it takes turns back and forth. But because we are a Charmander, we kind of have resistance to fire because we are a fire type, so you gotta take that into account, but we won't worry about that right now. Okay, so this Charmander actually does have a really super awesome move. It's called Reprisal, and it takes colorless energies. We talked about colorless the week before in deck making. Colorless means that you can use any energies to use this. So, this Reprisal also has a special condition. So I'm gonna read that condition. Reprisal says, this attack does 20 damage for each damage counter on this Pokemon. And we haven't talked about damage counters yet, so I'll discuss it right now. In a damage counter, if you, let's go back to when our Pokemon got scratched by another Charmander with Scratch, it would get a damage counter. That's one damage counter. For every time it's attacked, it gets another damage counter. So, if we're using Reprisal and it does 20 times, you would add the amount of damage counters. So, let's say he gets scratched once. That's 10 damage, 1 damage counter. Then you add 20 plus 20, so he now does 40 damage and can take out that other Charmander in 2 hits. That's really awesome. So this is a really, really good card. Even if you don't evolve it into Charmeleon or Charizard, this card right here is awesome. Put it in your deck. Alright, moving on. We know how to attack now. Down here in our white boxes, again, we have weakness. And we learned about weaknesses a couple weeks ago. But this is here to remind you, and it's kind of like, it's easier than pulling out your chart, but I think you should still use your chart, especially in deck making. That way you know what you're going to be good against or weak against. So this one is weak to water twice. That means water type Pokemon do 2 times the amount of damage it normally would, because Charmander is very weak to water. And it has no resistance. So you wouldn't, if you were resistant to, let's say, fire, then you would take less damage from a fire type Pokemon, but this card says it's not resistant, so you don't take less damage. Alright, on this side, on the right side in the white box, we have our retreat cost. And now our retreat cost is 1 colorless, which means you have to throw away 1 energy in battle to pull this Pokemon off the attacking field and into your bench, which means your Pokemon can't be attacked there and it's safe. Okay, now the bottom of the card isn't really important to the game, but it is really fun. It has like a fun fact about your Pokemon. It tells you who the illustrator is, so who the person who drew this art for you. And it also tells you what number of the set it's from. So this one is 11 out of 181. So 181 cards, this is the 11th card that was released in this set. And our fun fact down here about our Charmander says that the flames on its tail indicates Charmander's life force. If it's healthy, the flame burns bright. There's actually a really sad episode in the original Pokemon series where Charmander's tail is going out, because basically if a Charmander's tail goes out, it's gone forever, and it's really sad, and Ash comes and saves him because his old trainer was mean to him and left him out in the rain. And if you've seen the original series, it is amazing, and I cried a lot. But that's just because I love Pokemon. I cry all the time, it's fine. Alright, and so that is what we have today. I really want to know what kind of Pokemon you are using. I would still like to know what you're using in your decks and your favorite Pokemon. So please comment below, let me know how you guys are doing, what Pokemon you want to learn about next week, and we're going to start battling soon.